present. Phil, Dave, Chris, myself, Adele.
Hey, Tracy, could you just call the meeting to order again, just for the recording, please?
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order at 7:15 PM. Present, Phil, Dave, Chris, myself, and Adele. Absent, Christine. So we need a motion to seat Adele.
So move.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Sure. Aye.
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 I'm writing. Okay, Bill is seated. So, old business, new business, and I see we have reports. So, Chris, which,
Before we get into reports, the tax collector emailed me. Hold on, let me open it up. She needs to approve the uncollectible. She's up against the timeline on this. Hold on a second. Can you see it?
yep.
Let me know when you want me to scroll.
I'm writing it down. So this is the uncollectible taxes.
Yep, and then there's a list. I'll
Wait,
keep
get
going.
back. Go back up. All right. Well, I've written the motion. Can I have a motion to approve the uncollectible taxes in the amount of $7,112.96 for a total of 39 accounts?
So move.
Is there a second?
I second.
Who was second? Dave?
Dave?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, motion approved. Could you email her back, Chris, and tell her that you guys are motion? Chris?
Hold on. Carrie, can you hear us?
No, I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Now we can.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Gary joined the meeting at Tyler, secretarial stuff, 7:18.
7:18. Yeah.
Okay, Adele is still seated because we don't have Christine. So, doesn't change anything. Chris? Can you print that and send it to her?
Yeah, I'll sign it on behalf of the board and send it to her.
Yeah, and you got the motion, it's unanimous, so that's all done. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me open up the rest of the files. We can start with the approved budget. I signed it.
Thank you. Not that we have to go through it again right now.
Okay.
We might wanna, I mean, there's a couple of things that I'd like to follow up on.
Okay, well, everyone's got a copy of it. Here's the expense sheet. Can you see it?
Yeah. Slow down. Go back up. Up. Okay. Thank you. Computer's acting up, sorry.
Why are we so over on the road maintenance?
I have no idea. What's the bottom of that? What's that total figure at the bottom, Chris? Can you scroll up a little bit?
Want me to go all the way down?
Go to the total of highway. Sorry, total of highway. Back up, back up. No total. Never mind. Okay, keep going.
Next. Income. Back taxes are way up.
So we're, realized some taxation over 100%. Right?
Yeah. We're 65 plus on back taxes.
But that big one in the front, that's the taxation, that's the collection rate you're looking at. That's over 100%. Just so you that was worried can no longer be worried. Went in at 98.25, and probably when you get to the bottom, you'll see what that means. So that number at the bottom, 93,996.71.
That's what we're over?
What we collected, what we,
Oh.
that's 93,000 over what we estimated.
Yeah.
Yeah, the income side is good, but you know, getting back to those expenditures, you know, like these, like Adele had mentioned when we were looking on,
But you have another report, right, that has just the overtures over?
yeah,
Another one that just has them listed. We don't have department totals, so that's okay. There we go. So
how did we get over on supplies?
we
Hey, Mrs. Joanne?
Yeah.
yeah
Go
we
ahead.
printed the annual report.
Yeah, printing of the annual report, that's what that is, so she went over on that.
Yeah, it's gonna cost $400. I think we upped it this time. I don't know. That's the least of my worries.
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought that was money that was already supposed to be in there.
I don't know if we put it in or not, or nobody believe me. It costs $400. So we do it costs about $400 to print the annual report.
That's right. I thought the $500, I thought there was kind of like a $500 fee that had been set aside for that.
you could look on last year's budget.
Okay. I do have a question, and I think the only one that's probably going to be able to answer this is, and unfortunately I can't find it right off the top of my head here, but the emergency expenditures, Tom, is that money that will be reimbursed from the state? Because I'm sure it has to do with the COVID pandemic.
It would be reimbursed by FEMA if we get it reimbursed. If, you know, depends on where we get involved. And with that, everyone's gonna have unreimbursed.
If you want me to answer,
Yeah, I would like you to answer,
it
Tom.
looks like,
Yes.
it looks like hopefully 75% from FEMA and 25% from the state of Connecticut.
Okay, all right. So in other words, just a quick question. I know that, you know, for example, all the PPE products, you can go to Bethlehem and pick them up a certain day a week, blah, blah, blah. Are the towns not in that? Or is it just for like emergency services, EMTs, firefighters, stuff like that?
Well, there are different levels to that. There is the hospital and EMS services. There are the municipalities, and then there are the local businesses.
Okay, because I know the EMS services do it. And that's why I was wondering if the town is involved in that.
We are.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
We have a lot of line item overages, but we have no information on them.
Well, mine is the deputy treasurer.
Well, the thing is, we got line item overages, but we don't have any explanation or requests or information on those.
Well, this is concerning, especially moving forward with this next year. If we think we're not gonna hit the collection numbers, This overage practice cannot continue. If anyone approaches or exceeds that 100% line item limit, we need prior authorization or notice. This can't be guess and check on this point.
That's not how it works for the Board of Finance. It's not.
Exactly how it works for
It's
state
not a
statute.
line item approval.
Yes,
If we
yes.
stay within the budget, we can exceed the line item and readjust at the end of the year, which we'll do this year.
That is not how the statute reads.
Not exactly. Read it and we'll get the attorney's opinion for you.
We can also get an attorney's opinion for that.
I'm making a motion right now that if anyone exceeds the line item, we get advance notification of that.
I second the motion.
All right, hold on, let me write that down. All right, Chris made a motion. If any line item
If any line item exceeds the amount for 2021 or 2020 to 2021 budget, we get notification of it at our next meeting, or at the next scheduled meeting, prior to the next scheduled meeting.
If the department feels that it's gonna go over,
Yeah, so we don't,
Then-
$40,000.
then it would, they come to us at the next regularly scheduled meeting.
We need some sort of heads up and information as to why this is going out. It can't be, hey, we're gonna overspend this line item because we have it in other line items. We need to know it.
I was just trying to ascertain the timeline.
Yes, yes.
So it's a line item,
Is there a motion and second on that?
I seconded it.
as we're going over the motion, let me read it again.
Okay.
Excuse me. If any line item is to exceed for 2021 budget, the Board of Finance will get prior notification. Right, Chris?
Correct. Prior to our next scheduled meeting.
Gets notification prior to next scheduled meeting. Yes,
Yes.
I have a second from Adele.
Yep.
All in favor?
Well, is there discussion? on
Aye.
the motion?
Is there discussion? I'm sorry, you're right. Discussion?
All right, you do get the notice, and you get it in the monthly expenditure reports. And that's something you really need to look at very carefully before each meeting. As far as line items overages, it's gonna happen, and we can't hold a expenditure waiting for a Board of Finance meeting. But you do get the expenditure reports. You should track it very carefully throughout the year.
The motion wasn't that they can't overspend. The motion was that we need notification of that overspend.
You
So we're
do
not-
get the notification through your expenditure reports whenever you request them.
I don't
Okay,
Yeah, but the problem is we only get them prior to a meeting. For example, like I just said, you've got an overage here on the deputy treasurer's salary.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, of $7,339.85.
That is a management decision. We need to
Well-
operate this town, if you'll let me explain. We need to operate this town. It's a management decision. As long as we don't go over for the department, we are fine. This is not a line item approval for the Board of Finance.
okay.
Because
This
it
is
just
not
became,
the way- Excuse me. This is actually not the way that it's supposed to go.
It's the way.
There
it's
has been
for
leeway,
many,
excuse me,
many
excuse
years.
me. No,
Yes,
it has never been done this way.
exactly, it has.
Prior to this, or whatever now, if a line item is to go over expenditure,
Right.
the Board of Finance, I mean, Nancy has come to meeting after meeting with these reports
Yep.
and gone through what the overage is for and says, well, we have money here and we'll make a transfer from this. We have
That's
been
exactly
notified.
what we're doing.
The
yes.
list does not tell us what these overages are for. And the Board of
Ask the
Finance
question.
always has,
Ask the questions and you'll get the answers.
you can't ask a question, Tom, when you only get it
Excuse me.
couple of days
excuse
prior
me,
to a meeting.
Excuse me. There is a state statute and it's about appropriations. It is not, we do not have a budget that gives lump sums to departments. They're very different. We have a line item budget. An appropriation is a line item. And the state statute is very clear.
Well, I beg to
it's
differ, and we
strictly-
have an attorney's opinion on that.
I believe that the Board of Finance should also get an attorney's opinion, but that will be the next motion.
Yeah, I don't.
Any more discussion on this?
Christine's joining us right now. She's just got in. Christina Yan?
And if you want explanations on any overages, we're happy to supply them.
They need to be supplied to us.
Yes.
Well, I make a motion before
They're not-
Christine gets.
Wait a
in.
minute, hold on,
We'll
hold
have a
on,
motion
hold
on
on,
the
hold on.
floor.
We have a motion on the table, so we can't make another motion. I'm not gonna sit Christine in the middle of a motion, okay?
Got it.
Because Adele has seconded it, and we're not gonna start this over again, so Christine, sit tight. The motion on the table that is up for discussion right now is any line item is to exceed for 2021 budget, the Board of Finance will get notification prior to next scheduled meeting. That was made by Chris, it was seconded by Adele.
We're not
For the
saying.
record, I agree with the motion. I think it's a good motion, and you will get what you're asking.
That's it. That's all. We're not saying they can't overspend. We're saying
You're
if they.
you're getting it already, so you're definitely going to get what you're asking.
All right, is there a vote? Are we ready to vote on this motion?
Bill had discussion.
Huh?
Yeah, I just wanted discussion from both sides here, that's all.
Okay,
So,
is
We're ready.
everybody said their piece on it? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Okay,
Are we done with the over budget report? Or you want to keep? You want to?
I want to sit here for a minute, Chris.
Yeah.
It's 7:38. Christine has joined the meeting. Has she joined the meeting? I can't see it on my screen.
Yeah, you don't have to seat me if you don't want to, because I got stuck in a work meeting.
Okay, do you want to just, well, we can just, I'll just say you joined,
No, we
not
didn't.
seated, okay?
Yep.
No, that's fine. Okay, so Adele, you're still active. The record has reflected that Christine has joined late and has opted not to be seated.
Okay.
Ben seated.
Opted not to have been seated.
No, on that. She's seated. And Adele is unseated. Note the time.
Don't know if Roberts would support you on that.
You have an elected member and you have an elected alternate. That's how it plays.
Apologies.
I will check Roberts, but I don't have the book in front of me at the moment.
Got a, well, we're now, we're on,
So the other thing is, we talked about a legal opinion. Okay? There has been legal opinions on this in the past.
I don't think we need to spend on a legal opinion. We're just asking to be notified if they're gonna overspend. I don't need a
I'm
legal.
asking to follow state statute, Chris. I'm not even messing around this one. This is a state statute. We need to do our elected duties.
I'm against giving attorneys money to tell us what we've already agreed upon, that we're allowed to get the overages. I think that's satisfactory without spending taxpayer dollars.
Sounds good to me.
Any
Well,
other discussion?
I know I'm not seated, but I think it's wrong because of the fact that we're not getting these notifications until just 2 days prior to a meeting.
We just passed a motion to end that.
Would anybody like me to read the state statute?
Yes.
Okay. State statute for Board of Finances, Chapter 106, Section 7-348, towns not to contract in excess of appropriations, town meeting to increase amount. No officer of such town shall expend or enter into any contract by which the town shall become liable for any sum which, with any contract then in force, shall exceed the appropriation for the department except in cases of necessity connected with the repair of highways, bridges, sidewalks, water and sewer systems in the care of the town poor, and then not more than $1,000. If any occasion arises whereby more money is needed for any department of the town than has been appropriated, as provided for this chapter, the selectmen shall notify the Board of Finance of such fact, and the chairman of such board shall forthwith call a meeting, therefore to consider the appropriation for such department, and the board may make the necessary appropriation, therefore, after inquiry, but if in towns where the grand list is not more than $20 million, the amount required or the amount required together with the sum of any additional appropriations made by the board for such department within the same fiscal year exceeds $10,000, or in towns where the grand list exceeds $20 million, which they actually have a note that they did raise. If the, let's see, recommendations of the board, the same has been voted by the town at a meeting called for such purpose, provided no more than one such additional appropriation for any one department shall be made 1 year without town meeting approval, and provided the board may make additional appropriations for the care of town poor without town meeting approval, not exceeding in the aggregate $2,000 in towns where the grand list does not exceed $20 million, or $4,000 in towns where the grand list exceeds $20 million. The board may call a public hearing prior to the town meeting at which parties in interest and the citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard, so that the board may obtain information to assist in making its recommendations. The amount required for such appropriation may be drawn either from any cash surplus available or from any contingent fund established as herein after provided. If no cash surplus exists and no funds are available in the contingent fund, such appropriation may be financed by borrowing, and the amount of such borrowing shall be included and made a part of the next tax levy. The estimate of expenditures submitted by the Board of Finance to the annual town meeting or annual budget meeting may include a recommended appropriation for a contingent fund in an amount not to exceed 3% of the total estimated expenditures for the current fiscal year. No expenditure or transfer shall be made from the contingent fund until such expenditure or transfer has been approved by the Board of Finance. The provisions of this chapter shall not be in limitation upon the town in issuing bonds under the provisions of law or expending the proceeds thereafter in accordance with the vote of such town, nor shall provisions be a limitation upon settlement of claims or judgments against the town under the provisions of law. It is a lengthy and convoluted one.
Why don't you email it to me and I'll make it available for everybody, or send me the link.
I can do that. Done it before.
Perfect. I don't know if we're on old or new business.
I don't know. Do you have anything else?
For old or new business?
Yeah.
Check docs. I think we went through all the docs. Oh, we've got minutes.
Oh, the one thing, I do have a question though. And Nancy's not here, so I guess the question isn't answered. And that is, again, I think contingency still at $100,000, and we don't have a for all the raises that were approved in the union contract.
That would come through at the end of the year transfers.
So they're waiting to the end of the year for that lump sum.
Correct. Yep.
Let's talk about our meeting schedule. I'm not sure I still have a copy, but let me double check, see if I do, and I can send it to everybody so we can know what dates going forward where we have planned meetings. See if I can find it. Christine, do you have it in your binder?
I'm sure I do. I'll look for it.
Give me 10 more seconds and I'll see if I can find it. And if I do, I'll email it to everybody so we all can have meeting dates. Yes. 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th this month, 9th, and the 23rd next month.
Yeah.
Perfect. We have the meeting minutes from the 21st and also the 28th.
A motion about the meeting minutes
I'll open them up. Let me know when you can
for
see.
the 21st of May.
These are the meeting minutes from the 21st.
Perfect. Is there a motion to accept as written?
I will make that motion.
Second.
Who's the second?
I have no second.
I'll second.
Who?
Chris.
I thought Kristen did.
I unless somebody says who they are and they. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Unanimous, motion approved.
Somebody said opposed.
Who said opposed?
I
Speak
think
now
you
or
just-
you're gonna be unanimous.
Yeah, I think you just heard Tracy ask if anyone opposed reverberate. That was it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. I have the meeting from the special meeting.
There a motion to approve the minutes.
From our annual budget meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Is there anything else on the table? I mean, we're jumped around a little bit tonight, but does anybody else have anything to bring before the board? Nothing? Is there public to comment?
Doesn't do any good.
Gotta open up anybody that's here. Hold on.
Yeah, I can't see who's here.
Actually, I don't for this anymore. But... Copy the nuts. I just had to mute Adele because I don't know what she was doing.
Is there members of the public here to comment?
There are no public members here to comment, and I can check our email right now and see if we have any comments. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I still have the out of office thing set up, so people should be getting automatic replies, but give me a second. We have
Has there been any further, looking into hiring a permanent treasurer? As opposed to a deputy treasurer?
I guess that's a no.
No, the job's posted on the town website.
That's not answering my question, but that's all right.
I mean, the job's posted.
Is
Yeah.
someone, there's.
Does that not answer your question, deputy treasurer?
Okay,
You know,
is there any,
Hello?
Yep,
Well, if you
I
want,
hear you, Tom.
I thought someone was asking a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I
we
asked
did
if
hire-
there,
we did
Response,
hire-
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I think I'm being talked over, but that's all right. No, Tom, I wondered if there was any further looking into in regards to hiring a permanent treasurer as opposed to a deputy treasurer.
Yes, we did hire one.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
That's great. Great.
motion to adjourn,
what time is it, Chris?
Second.
7:52.
Chris made a motion to adjourn at 7:52.
I will second that motion.
Dave, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.